So today I'm here with Estelle, and I'm very excited to be speaking to her. So Estelle used to be a client of mine last year, and she's just got such an incredible story. And therefore, I thought, also for my current clients, but also to other women feeling stuck in their career, I thought her story is just such an inspiration and such a beautiful story. So I really just want to get her on and just let her tell her story. And I hope that it will really inspire many other women to really make a change in their life. So, Estelle, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome. Yes, nice
Yeah,
seeing you again after a few months.
yes, I know. I haven't seen you in such a long time. So
Yeah,
I thought let's just start really from the beginning. So
okay.
let's rewind to about, I think it was last year, January.
Yes,
Yeah, when you were
yeah.
really feeling stuck in your career. And can you maybe tell us like what really felt off or unfulfilling at that time?
Yes, I think for me it was kind of each year when December, January was always like it's new year, you want to figure out what you want to do, what your goals. And I think last year for me, I was in a different country, but everything was just, it was just that I realized that doesn't matter if I was in South Africa, in the Netherlands, it was the career that was just not fulfilling. I thought maybe if I try something different, I changed from industry, oil and gas, and then I went to pharmaceutical. So I thought maybe the change would be the difference that I need, but it didn't change. So for me, I just felt like in a box. I felt stuck. I felt yes, just there's no progress in my career as well. So I was just in a very low place when I found you online. I remember I was sitting with a lot of study material because I was doing small courses here and there just to try and get out of what I was doing. But I realized I need help because I couldn't figure it out myself. So yeah, that was last year, January.
Yeah, and I want to
Yeah.
know like what was really the turning point, because I know a lot of women listening and watching are in that position as well. And some, and for many years, some have had burnout, some, for many years are keeping stuck in this cycle.
Mm.
What made you finally be like, okay, I have to now reach out to a coach. I need help. I need to really make a change now. What was that turning point?
Um, I wasn't I wasn't doing it. I wasn't I knew I had to make the jump, but I just didn't have that. I didn't have I would say guided support. So I obviously had the support from family, from a husband, to do the change, to make a change, to look for something different. But there's so many things out there that I realized that I needed someone who does this for a living, to help me guide to give me guidance of where I need to be or what I need to be doing. But also I think time was ticking. I just felt like again it's a new year. I'm in the same position. This is the fourth or fifth year that I'm feeling the same way. So I just said it's January. I need to do it now. Otherwise, nothing's gonna change. So yeah, that was a turning point.
And can you tell me a little bit about the ideas you had, what you wanted to do, and maybe also tell then what you're doing now and how you got to that? Because I think that's also very interesting, But okay, you start working with a coach, and then what? What do you want?
Yes, so I think I being in a corporate industry, yes, I was in corporate. I knew that I want to go into anything that's serving or caring or teaching. So I knew I wanted to work more one on one. At first, I do have a big love for animals, you know this.
Yes.
So I was sure that I need to do something with animals, but I think that was just the caring side of me. So yeah, just to take it back, I knew I wanted to do something that helps people or animals. But then definitely during the coursework, I realized what I really do not want to do. And I think that's how I went from not working for, so let's say I went into it thinking I would be a vet nurse, and that's what I want to do. But during coaching, realized that again, I'm just going to be in a box, in my opinion. I'm going to work for someone because there's strict rules and regulations, and it's just not going to fit what my desires, what I desire.
Mm.
So I ended up, yes, currently I am now, I opened up a studio, a female fitness studio, and I love it. It's the best thing. It was kind of that penguin jump. It was just, yeah, I had to do it. And yeah, it's 10 weeks in, and I'm very grateful that I did it. But yes, for me, it was definitely knowing that I want to work with people one on one, helping them. Yeah.
And do you feel like this fitness was also like a childhood dream or something that you loved to, dancing and things like that? That's
Yes,
something you
I
started out
think.
of the box, the idea?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think definitely going back to my childhood, dancing was my sport. That's what I did. Um, if I can, if ever there was a speech you had to do in school, what do you want to be when you grow up? It was dance teacher. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up. But during coaching, I also realized that I do not want to go into any competitive industry. I just want a safe space, a nice place for myself and for other people. So initially, I also thought that I would do the dancing. I remember my husband booked out a gym in the Netherlands for me to just go and dance and just have the space and just figure out if I can maybe do this in the Netherlands. But I soon realized in yeah, immediately got that competitive feeling that you can get from all of these type of stuff. So I knew that's just not what I wanted to do. And yeah, so that's how I ended up just deciding on the fitness studio. Again, luckily, it was some of that courses that I've done throughout time um, while I was working in corporates. So yeah, it worked out well.
But let's just tell the audience, because not everyone knows, of course, because you made really a drastic change, not only in your career, but also that you moved back to South Africa. I mean, that's quite huge, that you ended up packing your bags and you went back to your home country. So you must have had fears, doubts, limiting beliefs, like all these things about changing your path, about moving back. Like, what were they, and like, how did you work through them?
So definitely, I think at the beginning I cannot. It's so long. Well, it's a year ago, but starting out with coaching, the first thing I think it's a method you gave me, and it basically describes everything you want in your life.
Yeah, the flower
So
petal.
yes, and the environment, what I wanted was my home country. That's as simple as that. So it was what home feels like. So whether it is the weather or the wildlife or whatever, that's what I pictured. And I think when we as a family chose that I would change my career, I just said, I'm not going to do it halfway. I'm going to do it the entire flower petal way. I'm going to go for it. And we did.
Yeah.
So, yes, for me, it was definitely, well, the scary thing was obviously you need to consider your family. You need to think I believe most people, if you're working for an income, and a lot of those things went through my mind. Obviously, as a family, you think about it, but that's also the other push. Now this is your livelihood. This is now your job. And you chose it, so you must make it work. And I think also that is a something I didn't realize that I have is that when you go to a 9 to 5, or in my case, it's kind of a comfortable position because you just go to work, you do your thing, you earn your salary. Whereas a big change like this, it's you need to jump, and now you jumped, and now you have to go. You have to go because you cannot turn back now. So I think in my case, it was good to just dive in. Yeah.
Yeah, because some people they dip their toe and then they procrastinate and then they stop and they're like, sometimes, and life, sometimes you do have to take a risk in life.
Yes. Yes. Yes, definitely.
And what do you feel like, what part of the coaching program helped you the most during the transition? Do you remember if there were any like really breakthrough moments?
During the transition when I already came and made the decision, or
No, like during the coaching program, maybe also what helped you maybe really figure out what it is that you wanted.
mm, I
I
remember
guess
there
the
was
flower
a
petal exercise.
yes, definitely that. And then when it comes to the program, for me, it was kind of I initially went into it thinking it's just going to be career based. You're just going to show me, okay, this is options in this industry or that and that, where I soon realized that it's a real, you go deep into yourself. It's a lot of self work. And I think at that time it was great because it just covers everything. But I think for me, I cannot, the flower petal was great. But I remember you said confidence is not something you just have. You you have to work on it, you have to work for it. And that's one thing that really stuck. And I keep to it till today, it's something that I exercise, I practice it. And I think that's when it comes to the career changes that have the confidence to do it. Trust in yourself. That was the point for me is what's your talents now. And I think everyone actually knows what it is. You just have to practice it and have confidence that you can put it out there and do something with it.
Because how do you feel now, also since doing the program, your energy, your confidence, your mindset have changed over the course of the
No, it
program
it
now?
it changed. um, yeah, so definitely, I think I sent you one day just out of the blue a message saying I'm going 180, changing everything, and that really it is what it is. It it changed 180 my life totally, and that's all because of the career change. um, and I also think that what made it good is the fact that I realized that I want to be in my home country. So it wasn't just the career thing, it was look at your life, what do you want for your life, and South Africa was a part of it. So I think if I have done this in the Netherlands, it would have been great as well. But I think doing it in my home country and having that entire picture, that dream, and implementing it, that's the major change. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's what I believe, that you need to look at your life in a holistic way. If
Mm.
you're happy in your career, but your relationship is not good, or your finances or health or your personal development, I feel like all those areas you need to work on. And yes, unfortunately, it is
Yes.
hard work. Nothing comes falling on your lap. But we
No.
need to look at all the areas because everything causes a ripple effect on
Yeah.
its, it's all linked, interlinked. So yeah, it's important that we are happy in all aspects as much as we can, of
Yes.
course, be.
Yeah. Definitely. Yes.
And tell us a little bit now about your business now and what you love the most about running your own business and doing the bar and Pilates.
Yes. I think for me, a major thing was with my previous career, you were it was everything was so set, every day was the same hours, same everything. For me now, having my own space, first of all, I get to use my talents every day. So I get to dance, I get to exercise, I get to be around other women and just, be all health and fitness, which is my interests. Um, but yes, basically the best part of the studio is the fact that my time is my time. I can be there for my son. There's no day that I'm not next to the sport fields when he has something going on, because that's what I wanted. A major reason, a issue for me during my career was that I'm stuck. I cannot be there for my son. I only have one, and I only have him once, and you get to see him at 5 in the afternoon. And for me, that wasn't enough. So, best part of being a business owner is the time is mine. My time is free. And yes, I can be there for my family first. So that's the best. And then the other part is it's I get to do everything that I'm good at and everything I enjoy during my 9 to 5.
It's just so
So
interesting, this whole journey, because I still remember our first coaching session. How are you telling me that you were just staring at this Excel sheet and that you're just so done with it and bored of doing the same thing over and over and going to work and back and going to work and back, like Groundhog Day, you know? You
yes.
just really
Yeah.
weren't excited at all. And how much has
Mm,
just changed, you know? Like in a year's time, it's incredible. Like your whole life has completely turned around. It's very inspiring.
yeah. Yes, it did. And I must say, it also didn't just happen overnight. I mean, we did the coaching January to March or April, but then also the work continued, you know.
Yes.
Now I had this information and I know what I think I want to do, but the journey didn't stop, you know. It's a continuous, it should be continuous, you know. But yes, life changed and it can. I think it can. And I think also mindset wise, I went from there's so many people that has inspiring stories that do change their lives. Why can I not be one of them? You know, why
Mm.
should I be the one that stays stuck or unhappy? And I just decided I will also be one of those people that just change and just do it. And also, I think for my son, just showing him that it's possible to do things that you like and you want to do, you know. Have a happy He must have a happy mom, a happy family. It's also important for, it's not just for yourself but for the people around you. You owe it to them as well to be happy. So yeah.
Could you imagine a year ago that you'd be sitting like this, having your own
No.
studio?
Not at all. I remember actually this I'm at my studio now, and last year we went to South Africa from the Netherlands to visit family, and I was doing some Pilates yoga practice, and I was like, "Oh, imagine I can do this here." And yeah, I think actually last year with that trip to South Africa, that's where the spark came from. Maybe I can do that. Um, but yeah, so it there was a moment when I realized, okay, this is what I want to do, I think. But then you still had to go back and figure out all the pros and cons and can we do it?
So important to listen to those sparks, because what you described now, I had that with coaching, that I was seeing other people coach and I was like, that seems so amazing to be busy, because I loved psychology and busy with the mind. And I
Yeah.
remember I was with my husband on a trip away to Belgium, and I was just running through the park because he was working. I was by myself, and I was just running, and it was honestly as if it was just like indeed like a thing
Mm.
that came in my head that I wanted to become a coach. It's so weird, that moment. I still remember it so, and I still remember that my husband came back from his meeting like, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. It's like
Yeah.
sometimes when you also,
Yeah.
you know, you quiet the mind, you're going for a long walk on the beach or for a run or doing meditation or yoga, sometimes it just sort of pops up in your head.
Yes, yes. I we were as a family together, and there's actually still pictures from that day. So as we speak, I can remember it exactly when. Yes, I was doing it. We were doing some exercises with the family, and I just realized, I think this is it. I think this is
So,
what I
so
want to do. And
hmm,
that's when we went back to the Netherlands and rented out the gyms to see if I can start something there. But yeah, so
so therefore,
it
it's so
didn't happen.
important to listen, to those little nudges,
Yeah,
and also
definitely.
not be afraid to make a change if something is so, because you were during the coaching program for a while, you were really like, no, I want to become a vet, like that's really what I want to do. And through researching you realize, well, it's not actually what I want. And I had the same. I thought I would want to become a beautician, and I studied the whole thing and I did an internship. And then I realized,
Yes.
no, this is not it, because I'm not working with the mind. I'm not helping people mentally, kind of thing, only giving them a nice
Yeah.
feeling, massaging and making them pretty. But so sometimes I feel like those things can be a stepping stone, that it's okay to try something. And if it doesn't work out, you didn't fail, it's not the end of the world, then
Yes.
it's okay to make change and do something else. You don't have to be so fixated on one thing and really have to make that work. You could have been like, no, I have to study
Yes.
this veterinary science because this is what I was planning. And I see a lot of other
Yeah.
people doing that. And then they end up not being happy because they actually didn't really follow their heart or really what they wanted to do.
Yes. I think in my case, for instance, I would also always enroll for the most extreme, like I would go for the degree, I'm going to enroll for, I'm going to take an example, the animal science degree this year. Whereas I would advise just enroll for a small 3 month course first before you just dive into the hardest stuff each time. Because, yes, it for me, again, now you have to wait 3 years to get the degree to figure out if this is really what you wanted to do. Where if you just start small, do a 2 week Coursera or Udemy course and see if you like it before you go and commit, hardcore onto bigger things. So, yes, definitely, as you say, try something, see if it works.
Mm,
We always think we have to go all in and get the most extreme qualifications, but it's not necessary always, my opinion.
100%. Yeah. So, any last piece of advice? Because I think a lot of women are watching here, probably also sitting, feeling stuck. I'm going to turn this into a podcast. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people listening as well. Any piece of advice to these women, who are feeling stuck and who don't know what they do, they don't love their job? What would you say to these women?
Well, maybe if you're not sure what you want to do or even have an idea, go back, see who you were when you were a little girl, see what she enjoyed. Was it nature? Was it did you play teacher, teacher, doctor, doctor, vet, vet? Go back to your little childhood self and yeah, I think just go and have a coffee with her and see where she was at. I think it tells you a lot about who you are when you just go back. In my case, I was a little dancer, and I basically do that. I could have skipped 10 years of studying and working in a industry and just have a studio. It would have been just as good as it is. Yeah,
Yeah, wow. And also just know that you really can change, and in any time of your life, you can make a change. You don't have to stay stuck.
no,
And life is short. Like we have this one life. Let's make the most out of it. Let's try to just be happy, because you don't know how long your life is going to be, and it's just too
yeah,
short to be miserable and stay stuck in a job. So dare to make that change. Get out your comfort zone and do something else if this is not making you happy.
yes, yes, definitely. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much
Thanks,
for
Kirsty.
coming on. Yeah, it was so much fun. And thanks
Pleasure.
everybody for watching. And
Yes.
till
Awesome.
next time.
Bye bye.